right, we are continuing our notes on our ratio and proportional reasoning unit. We are on unit 2, and we are on standard that is talking about equivalent ratios in a table. So equivalent ratios in a table are very simple. We can relate this to our equivalent fractions. And so taking a look at this set of equivalent fractions, we can see that if we started with 1/2 and we multiply by 10 on the top and bottom, we would get 10 over 20. 10 over 20 still represents half. And then we could take 10 over 20 and divide by 2 and get 5 over 10. All three of these are equivalent fractions, or we can say equivalent ratios written in fraction form, and we changed the numbers by multiplying or dividing. And so we're going to take this understanding and we're going to try to find some equivalent ratios in a table. So let's find these missing values using our multiplication and division. So looking here, we have the number of cups we need of lemon juice to the number of cups we need of water. So if we use 1 cup of lemon juice, we're going to need 3 cups of water. So now we have to figure out what's missing here. How am I going to find these values? So I can see that, first of all, I'm going to look at this from 1 and 3 and 2 over something. So as if it was a fraction. So let me write down what I mean. 1 over 3 is equivalent to 2 over something. And what is that something? And so what I'm going to do is multiply. What times 1 gives me 2? Well, I know I can multiply by 2. So if I do that there, if I'm multiplying by 2, I have to also do that to the 3. So I'm going to take this 3, multiply by 2, and I end up with 6. So my missing value here in my table is 6 for that first value. I'm just taking my number, multiplying by 2, and I get 2, multiplying 3 by 2, and I get 6. Now, can we do the same thing for where we have the 5? Yes, we can. We can imagine that we have it as a fraction, almost, but we're looking at it as in a table, and I'm going to go from 1, and I want to figure out what can I multiply by 1 to get 5. I can multiply by 5. And so I'm going to do the same thing over here with this 3. I'm going to multiply by 5. And 3 times 5 is 15. And I have my 2 missing values in my table. This is one way of looking at your equivalent ratios. Any problem you get, if you see a relationship with these numbers on this side, you can do the same thing to the numbers on this side, just as you would with an equivalent fraction. If you do something to the numerator, you have to do it to the denominator. And same for if you do it to the x value, your input value here, you got to do it to your output value, your y value here. And we're going to get into it more. What are these values? Now, you've seen a coordinate grid before, but this is just something else we're going to get to. But I'm not going to talk about that too much right now. So let's move on. Let's look at another way we can do this problem. So as we can see, I want to look at the relationship now of the x value to the y value. So I don't want to go from 1 to 5. I want to go from, how am I getting from 1 to 3? 2 to the missing value, 3 to 9, 4 to 12, 5 to blank. How am I getting there? Am I multiplying by a number? Am I dividing by a number? Think about that for a few seconds. And then we'll talk about it. Think about that. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. What is the relationship between these numbers? All right. So looking here, from 1 to 3, I can multiply by 3. So I'm going to try this relationship for all my numbers and see if I get the right thing. 2 times 3 is 6. Well, that's the same answer I got up here. 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. And 5 times 3 is 15. The same answer I got up here. So you can look at your numbers in two different ways. You can see, how am I changing in my x values, and do the same thing to your y to get your equivalent ratios. Or you can look at, how are we going from x to y? Am I multiplying by a number? Am I dividing by a number? How am I getting from one number to the next? And then you'll be able to find those missing values in your table. I hope these notes were helpful. We'll try some more examples as we go forward in class. All right.